Hi, this is Holly at Lifeline Yogis. This is a request from Billy, and it's a 10-minute sequence to strengthen the muscles needed to get into full wheel pose. So we'll start in a downward dog. And on the next inhale, we'll slowly walk the feet to the hands and we'll exhale, folding over. And on the next inhale, we'll slowly make our way to standing, reaching the hands above the head, and then we'll exhale, fold over. And then we'll inhale, gaze forward, bringing the hands to the shins, or fingertips touching the floor, fat back nice and long. And then exhale, bringing the hands to the mat, and we'll slowly step back into plank pose, and we'll make our way down to the mat. Bringing the hands alongside of the chest, pushing into the palms, coming into baby cobra. And again, lowering the body back down, and we'll make our way into down dog. And just a couple more rounds. Again, inhale, walking the feet to the hands, exhale, fold. And again, inhaling, making our way to standing, raising the hands above the head. And then exhale, hands to heart center. And we'll inhale, raise the hands above the head, and exhale, folding over. And again, we're going to gaze forward, flat back nice and long. And exhale, folding over, stepping both feet back into plank pose. And bending the elbows, we'll slowly make our way down to the mat. And pushing through the palms, we'll gaze forward, this time coming into a high cobra. And then on the next exhale, we'll slowly make our way down, and again coming back into downward dog. And one more time, we'll inhale, walk the feet to the hands, exhale, fold. And inhale, slowly making our way to standing, reaching the hands above the head, and then joining the hands to the heart center. And inhale, reaching the hands above the head, and exhale, fold. And then inhale, flat back, nice and long, gazing forward, and exhale, grounding down the palms, stepping into plank pose. And then we'll lower all the way down to the mat. Again, palms alongside of the chest. This time we're going to come into an upward dog. And then we'll slowly make our way back into down dog. And we're just going to hold the down dog for about 15 to 20 seconds, along with all the other postures in the practice today. Holding them for a little bit longer. And on the next inhale, we're going to gaze forward. We're going to roll our body out into plank pose. Actively pushing through your hands. Engaging through the legs. And contracting all of your stomach muscles. And in your own timing, we'll slowly make our way to down dog. And we're going to lower the knees down to the floor, and we'll take a child's pose. And then we'll slowly make our way back into downward dog. And again, we're going to make our way out into plank pose, this time coming into a side plank. So grounding down through the right arm, stacking the hips to the right side, reaching that left arm all the way up to the sky. See if you can get the right sole of the foot to be on the floor. This will give you a little extra lift from your hips and a little bit more stability. And if this pose doesn't work for you, you can bring that left foot forward. Again, just to give yourself that little bit extra stability. And then we'll slowly come back into plank pose. And again, the same thing on the other side. So grounding down through the left arm, reaching the right arm up to the sky, lifting the hips as high as you can. Again, see if you can ground down the sole of the left foot into the mat. Or you can take a variation again, so bringing that right foot forward this time if plank pose doesn't work for you. And then we'll slowly make our way into plank pose, and we'll bend the elbows, lowering our whole body down onto the mat, bringing the arms alongside of the body, resting one side of the face on the mat. And gazing forward, grounding down the palms alongside of the chest, squeezing the elbows together. On the next inhale, we're going to come into a high cobra. And just slightly drawing the shoulder blades away from the ears. And then we'll slowly lower back down. And again, gazing forward, grounding down the palms by the chest. And on the next inhale, we're going to come into a high cobra, keeping the elbows squeezed into the body, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. And then we'll lower back down onto the mat. And one more time, gazing forward, this time bending the knees, drawing the heels of the feet towards the sit bone. And we're going to grab the feet with the hands, and on the next inhale, lift the legs off from the mat, squeezing the legs together, squeezing the thighs together. And here we're balancing on the stomach, not the pubic bone or the chest. Gazing down to the floor or gazing forward, whatever works for you. And then we'll slowly release the legs, release the arms, and we're going to roll ourselves into child's pose again, rounding the spine, taking a few breaths. And lifting the sit bones from the heels, we're going to make our way up into tabletop position. And this time we're going to lower our forearms down to the mat, grabbing each elbow with the opposite hand. And then we'll bring both forearms forward, clasping the hands together, coming onto the balls of our feet. And on the next inhale, we're going to lift our hips into the air. And we'll slowly start to walk the feet in towards the body, keeping the spine nice and long, just getting as far as you can. And no worries if the heels don't touch the mat. Strengthening through your arms, letting the head be nice and heavy. Dolphin pose. And then we'll slowly start to walk the feet out again, this time coming onto our knees and bringing the sit bones to the heels. And then we'll lift the sit bones from the heels. We're going to come into camel pose. So making sure the knees are hip distance apart, Bringing the hands to the lower back and the glutes, fingers pointing down, squeezing the elbows together. And on the next inhale, we're going to bend from the lower back, gazing up to the sky. And if this is enough for you, you can stay here, or if you'd like to, you can grab the heels with the fingers, letting the head drop, be nice and heavy. And to come out of camel pose, squeezing through the abdominal muscles, bringing the chin to the chest. And again, just taking a child's pose, rounding the spine. And we'll slowly make our way up from child's pose, this time coming to sit on the mat, keeping the knees bent, heels of the feet just a few inches away from the sit bones, feet hips width apart, and bringing the hands about a handprint behind. And on the next inhale, we're going to come into a reverse tabletop position. Again, either dropping the head, letting it relax, or gazing forward, whatever works for you. And then we'll slowly lower back down. This time we're going to extend the legs out forward. And we're going to ground down through the heels, and on the next inhale, again lifting the hips up to the sky. See if you can reach the soles of the feet down on your mat. If you can't, no worries, coming onto the heels of the feet is fine. Reverse plank. And again, we'll slowly lower down. This time we're going to come onto lying onto our back. We're going to bring the knees into the chest, letting the head relax on the mat. And if you'd like to, just wrapping the arms around the legs, bringing the forehead in towards the knees, and rocking side to side, massaging out the back. And then we'll extend the legs out, coming into our final relaxation pose, Shavasana. And thank you for joining me today. Namaste.